You're tuned into No Good Music.
I have three special guests with me tonight. They are authors in their own right, and that's WRITE, pun intended. And two of them are about to release a new Monkees comic book, and they're also getting ready for an incredible Monkees 60th anniversary convention in North Haven, Connecticut. And let's all welcome to No Good Music, Mr. Charles Rosenaye, Mr. Mark Arnold, and Duane if I don't know how to say your name, but DIMOCK.
It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Okay. DIMOCK.
You get DIMOCK, DIMOCK, DOMOCK.
Oh, there you go.
Demonic. I got to tell you, Rob.
You got a broken leg.
It's not just two authors; it's three because
I'm sorry.
Three of us have worked on this book, which we'll eventually get to.
I had to scribble on my notes, Sarah, and sorry about that.
I appreciate it. And we all know good music, so this is the perfect show for us.
There you go. So I wanted to talk about the convention first, if we could. So I'm going to be the 60th anniversary of the airing of the first Monkees episode, which was September 12th, 66. And then your convention is the 4th, 5th, and 6th of September. And this is something, Charles, you are organizing. I know Mark will be there. I don't know if Duane, are you going to be there?
No, I won't.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to force him to come. We'll make him walk from California. He'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about the convention. I know, Charles, you've been doing this a long time. Maybe you want to tell us, when you started doing the Monkees conventions, and then tell us about this upcoming one.
Yeah. So September 12th being the 60th anniversary of the first episode, so thought, I can't let the year go by. I can't have the occasion not be celebrated. There were no other conventions happening. And I thought, well, I've been doing it for quite a few years. First one that I was personally in charge of was one I did with Maggie McManus, who was one of the earliest Monkee promoters and Monkee magazine editors, and really kept the Monkees alive through the darkest periods of the 70s. And in 1982, we had the first convention in Connecticut after it being in New Jersey for some years, and brought it to a new level because it was the first time that a Monkee ever showed up at a convention. Peter Tork was our special guest. Wow. And then I thought, well, we got to do something. We did a few years back the Peter Tork Memorial Convention, and that's, the last one I'd done. And before that, in 2013, the last one I was involved with prior to that was the Davy Jones Memorial Convention. I said, I don't want to do any memorial conventions. Let's do something to celebrate. Let's do something happy. There's no better reason. I've put it out there. It's going to be the last convention I'm ever doing for Monkees fans. And it's going to be really special. It's September, like you mentioned, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Originally, going to do a small scale one day. We're going to have it on the Saturday, the vendors, the guests, the panels, all of the music. And then it found out people are coming from Australia and people coming from England and West Coast. And we thought, we can't have people just come in and have more events going on throughout the weekend. So we added Friday night as a welcome party. And then there's, believe it or not, a Monkees museum in Connecticut. The underground photo experience is about a half hour away from where we're having the convention at we're having it at the Clarion Inn Hotel in North Haven, Connecticut. And the museum is in Forest. So we said, well, let's do an extra day and make it a whole weekend festival. And the last day we'll have bands, we'll have a barbecue, whatever it is, and everyone will get to go to the museum. So it's a 3-day show, and people are coming from all over. And we've just literally every week we're adding more guests guests. It's come to a bigger thing than I expected it to be. I thought it'd be like one of those old-fashioned, reunion type conventions where it's all about the fans. It's still all about the fans, but more vendors than we thought, more guests than we thought, more music and bands than we thought. And people, as we're talking, more people are signing up to be special guests.
Yeah, I have a list here. Henry Diltz,
yes,
photographer.
Our legacy special guest.
Monkees actress VALERIE KAIRYS VENET.
Yeah, Venet, yeah, sure. She's our.
I'm bad with names.
No, she's very special. For fans who don't know, she was in more Monkey episodes than anyone else besides Micky, Davy, Peter, and Micky.
Oh, really?
Mike,
Okay.
Mike. Yeah.
How many episodes do you know?
Oh gosh, Mark, how many?
58.
Yeah, see that?
Okay.
Duane would have known too. They're the experts.
You guys probably know monkey stuff. Like, I have friends that are into the Honeymooners. I can recite any line. They could tell you how many times Ralph said "bang zoom," like how many episodes, stuff like that.
Wow.
Let's see, we got a Monkees bassist John Billings.
Yes.
Who's touring with Micky still, and we also have the drummer Rich Dart.
Yeah, who lives in Connecticut, and when he saw John was going to be there, he has a gig that night. He says, "I'm going to come visit anyway during the day. We'll have some fun."
Mm-hmm. And we got Greg Evigan.
Right. So
tell me about Greg and the Monkees, because it says with his Davy Jones memories.
Yeah. So I love the idea of having celebrity guests along with the monkey, centric guests. And, if you're someone who's maybe on the fence, yeah, I'm a Monkees fan. I'm a believer. I don't know if I should go to this convention. And you see, a big name actor who was in Tech Wars, who was BJ and the Bear. But of course, My Two Dads, which had Davy Jones on the show, I think twice.
Okay.
And so, Greg, there's great pictures of him with Davy. And this was an excuse to bring in a celebrity guest, and he'll talk about, his time with Davy on the show.
Probably why my wife watched My Two Dads. Maybe not, but she loved Davy Jones.
Oh, wow.
Davy was at Chiller one year in Parsippany, New Jersey. And I asked Davy if he talked to my wife. I had, I think that's when I had one of his flip phones. That's how long ago it was.
Right.
And he said, sure. And I told my wife, I said, I have someone here that wants to talk to you. She knew where I was. Davy was telling about, your husband's here at, at Chiller, and we're I think he said we're going out for drinks later. He was making up stuff, but he was great.
He was amazing. When it came to fans, you may not know, but he proposed to my wife on my behalf, and then played his song. I'll love forever. Right. Yeah. Davey and I are very close. So yeah, there'll always be a place in my heart. But years before that, he was a guest at a Beatles convention that I produced. And Duane, I don't know if you ever heard the story, but the deal was he would come on stage, be interviewed by our friend Fred VELEZ. He would perform a concert with his band and maybe sign a few autographs. And in those days, it wasn't where the celebrity sat there and made, $10 or $50 or $100 by signing an autograph and charging for taking a picture.
Yeah.
And I went to where he was signing, and it was about, 2.5 hours after he started. And I go, what are you doing? You only had to do this for a half hour or so. And we were going on 3 hours. And he goes, well, there's still fans in line.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
That was like Peter Noon when I saw him. I saw the Teen Idols tour, by the way.
Oh, wow.
With Davy. It was Davy, Bobby Sherman, and
Peter
Noon. And then we saw I want to say it was the following year. And instead of Davy Jones, it was Micky Dolenz.
Right.
But I remember Peter Noon, he was like that. He stayed till like 1 a.m. until everybody got to say hello to him and got an autograph. Yeah. Yeah.
And it makes sense. When you're doing it at a concert and you make your whatever you get for doing the concert, but every CD you sell, every photo at that point, T-shirts and merch. So I always say if the act stays out after the show, they're going to sell a ton of stuff. So it makes
Yeah.
sense. Really good about that. And then there's a few more guests, but along with the guests, I think we should also bring out that we have some amazing authors who are going to be there.
Yes.
Joe Russo, who's put out a great book. Fred VELEZ, who's put out a few books. Ed Riley, Monkees Manufactured Image. Mike Ventrella, who's done some books with maybe one of the panelists who we have here today. Melanie Mitchell.
Mark Arnold. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I don't either.
But our friend here, Duane, also before we ever thought of putting out a book, he was the pseudonym behind a very, very popular book, right? Right, Duane? Didn't you put something out that we might know?
Monkees Scrapbook, and I took out the S on it.
Is that still in print or?
Oh, it's completely dead.
No,
It was the other author was Eric Lefkowitz, who did the Monkey's Tale, and he did the recent Monkees Business book, which was actually really good. So that was just something we did really fast, and we went through. I had all the episodes, and I went through and made some comments, and Eric put some stuff in, and it was something through Last Gasp, which was playing upon the Monkey Wave.
Yes.
And it did really good comparatively. So, and I had to name Ed Finn because I used to do bootleg videos, and that's what I used.
Was
Did
it
I
like
say that? No, somebody else is doing that.
Was it like an episode guide, sort of? Or
Oh yeah, it was an episode guide. Yeah, and then trivia.
When did that come out?
87.
That was right in the meat of the reunion time.
Yeah, we had several conventions. One with Charles.
That's probably when an episode guide started coming out, maybe. I know the Honeymooners one goes back to the 80s.
Yeah, it was really not, but it did an overview because there's no information. But then when MTV had broadcast all the episodes, then everybody could look at it and make descriptions of that.
That was probably the first time I saw the Monkees, was MTV. I think I knew who they were, from the music, probably hearing songs on the radio. I never had seen the show before till then.
Great.
I was born a year before the show premiered.
I think Duane and I are first generation fans, and I think that you and Mark might have been a few years behind us, but Mark's really caught up. I think he's done 2 Monkees already. Did one with me, and him and I actually, Rob, I think Mark and I combined on the book on the Turtles, which came out not too long ago. The Turtles, A to Z, Not Just Happy Together.
Now, Mark, I had a question here on the title of your book. Okay. It's in quotes. Is it actually the title? It says long title, : looking for the good times examining the Monkees. Is that actually in the title? It says long title?
Yeah. Well, if you really know your Monkees, there is a song in the movie Head that the Monkees did called Long Title, Do We Have to Do This All Over Again? That's
great.
From Peter Tork wrote. And so he's the originator of the long title. My co-author, Micah Ventrella, thought it'd be great to have this big, long title, which I wasn't too thrilled with, but I didn't argue with him. And so, it became long title, Looking for the Good Times, Examining the Monkey Songs one by one. It took me forever to memorize that. And, Looking for the Good Times is a Monkees song, Good Times is a Monkees song, and the Monkees album. So it has a bunch of titles within titles, but it's still too long. It should have just been, Mike and Mark destroy the Monkees or something. I don't know. But anyway, when we got to our second book, which was about the solo years, our artist, Scott Shaw, who designed the covers of both books, he says, "You guys are crazy writing these long titles. Why don't you just call it Headquartered?" And so that's why the second one, just a one-word title. So that's about the solo year.
So also the convention, we have some live musical acts. Got Foggy Otis and a special surprise musical guest to be announced. I don't know if you're saving that for that
Well,
weekend?
I'll reveal that my thought behind that is we've got John Billings, we've got Felipe Torres, we've got members of bands there, maybe a superstar band of like people who've played with the Monkees, people who've been in Monkey tribute bands, that kind of just a freestyle. I'm seeing that as a fun set for that period. And if Henry Diltz wants to get on stage, if we can convince Chip Douglas to fly in and get on stage and play back,
Yeah.
really, really special. So that's my thought for that. And then afterwards, we've got Mick Lawless, who's on MMR Radio, who's just been a convention guy forever, and his Loose Salute band is going to be doing a Nesmith tribute, as well as he's going to be a vendor there, as well as he's going to host the Sunday event. So Mick is very involved in the show. And then I have a friends of mine, a real great pop rock band, who play our Beatle festivals. And they go whatever. Say, Charles, what's the event? And we change their name for the event. So they're the M60s.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Okay.
And they're not only doing
That's funny.
pop stuff from the mid 60s from the Monkees era, but they're also doing a set of stuff from the movie That Thing You Do.
Okay.
To hear a band do that live is great. And then the headliners, the final act is the Characters, and they've played more Monkees conventions than any other band in history. So they have pedigree. They earn it. They deserve it. They should be there and playing that.
Now, do any of you play an instrument?
Play the kazoo.
I play the computer.
Okay.
Well, Rob, actually,
How about you, Mark?
I used to play piano for years, but I haven't done it for decades. So
Okay. I was just curious.
When we had conventions in 82 and 83, we didn't have Monkey Tribute Band then. There was a gentleman by the name of John Sheridan who used to do solo stuff at conventions, big sideburns. He'd wear the hat, and he definitely was. He was what Mitch Weissman was to Beatlemania. John Sheridan was to Monkey Mania, and Monkey Mania was a band that I put together and fronted. I was Davy, and I did, the Davy shtick, and then we had other musicians. So in those days, I didn't know how to play anything. It was the tambourine and the maracas, which I rocked at. It's not hard to do that. But they said, Charles, there's one song that we need keyboards, and we need the piano, and we need guitar, and you're going to have to learn bass for this. I'm ready to quit. They go, no, sit down. You're gonna memorize the bass part. Dun, 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 dun. Stepping Stone. And I got carried away. I was standing on the speakers. I was like Gene Simmons meets it was funny.
And then they unplugged your bass and said, that's enough.
I never knew that they unplugged my instrument and it was faking the whole time.
Or using pre-recorded tape.
So if people want information or want to go to the convention, I know you're on Facebook. Do you have a dedicated website?
Sure do. It's
what is it?
Monkees Fan Convention. So Monkees plural, FAN, us all Monkees fans. monkeesfanconvention.com.
And you said this is your last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to have panels too, right? Talking panels?
So because we have so many great guests, obviously they're going to want to speak, but we're also going to, all the authors are going to be there to make sure it makes sense to do like an author's panel. We might do like a merch panel on collectibles. I got a few weeks left here before the September 4th, 5th, and 6th. I'm still formulating that. I still have, 1 or 2 surprise guests coming that are up my sleeve. So until that's all 100% hocked and locked, that's when I'm going to announce what time each panel is, what time each special guest is speaking. But we're breaking up the Saturday. So it's half the day is Convention-orama. It's all the vendors, it's all the guests, it's all the authors, it's all the panels, it's all the stuff that makes conventions great. There's an hour break and then pow, band, live music, and dance stage, and the mannequin with the tushy will be there dancing. It'll be really fun.
Now let's talk about this new Monkees book.
I don't know what book you're talking about. I don't know.
The comic book.
You ready for this? We've got the prototype in my hand.
Yes, I want to see it.
And calm down.
Oh, wow.
The Monkees comic book.
And it's only 12 cents. I love that.
Yes.
It's a bargain.
You forgot to change
The best you've ever had.
Now, what's genius about this, so many things are genius about this because Duane was involved. Mark, not so much. And when you look at the top, it's, a beautiful cover designed by that gentleman over there of a Davy Jones youth-looking guy in the local drugstore, in the local Rexalls or whatever, going through the old comic book, whatever that is, picking out comics, the rack. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. And you flip it over, and if you're a comic book person, you would remember the ads on the back of comics is like, "Do you want to be an artist and draw your own comics?" Well, it's not just that. It's Jose Delbo, who was the Monkees comic book artist.
Oh, wow.
And he's surrounded by all these celebrities giving their comments about the Monkees, like Susie Quattro and John Sebastian and Anson Williams from Happy Days, Martha Quinn from MTV. These were the leftovers, believe it or not, on the back, because we solicited, Duane is smiling, look at that. We solicited 17 celebrities between Mark and myself to comment on each comic. And so when you open this amazing book, which is a heavy sucker, and when you turn it a little,
is that how the book's going to open?
It's going to open.
That's right.
Sideways, and
Wow.
the comics are there, but look at the quality. Look at this digital restoration.
That's great.
Can we all tap Duane on the shoulder, because he gets so much credit there for what we had. Friend Nick Luca started, and he took it miles away. So imagine these old faded comics that we would love to own and love to read, and you can't get them anywhere. Now, all of a sudden, they're all collected in one place, but they literally look like they came off of Marvel's print press as a brand new graphic novel. I mean, they're popping, they're colorful, they're amazing. It's like nobody's ever seen them before. And it's not just the comics. I want to really emphasize it's a reference book. It's a price guide along with all the comics. There's commentary on each one, fair use. It's the reference book and price guide, because we literally do a comprehensive price guide of what all the comics are worth in very different conditions. Duane put together a timeline, which is just, wow, it made all the sense in the world, because it shows you what comic came out and what was happening in the world of the Monkees at the time. And it's just laid out so amazing. I mean, the three
which is pretty crazy, because all the things they did, it was just amazing. I mean, they could only have been working 24 hours a day. It's as simple as that.
It was crazy. How did they have time to eat or breathe? They were recording, they were filming, they were singing. I mean, they were everything. They
were doing live concerts.
Live. It's crazy.
They were young. They were young though, and they.
Okay. Well, we'll give them that.
Stamina than older people, and it was what, just a couple years though. Like there were 2 seasons. I mean, still, like you said, 24 hours a day for that long.
Yeah,
is amazing.
Monkey Comics went from 66 to 69.
Look at the genius of this. We're gonna give ourselves a little credit here. The original comics were on Dell. We were put our little Bell, Bell, and
Charles thought that up.
There's a few reasons why. Number one, the guy's got bell bottoms, but that's not the real reason. The real reason, aside from it rhyming with Dell and looking like that, is Davy Jones solo stuff was originally out on Bell Records, which was, I think, a division of Arista, if I'm not mistaken.
There was even a Monkees compilation on Bell, Refocus.
Right. Refocus came out on Bell, right? So there's a big Monkees connection to Bell.
Yes.
At first I thought, we could do, instead of Dell, use Farmer In. And Charles says, well, that's okay, but most people can get that. But he came up with the Bell, which is actually a better idea. I mean, graphically and historically.
And you won't be able to fit that in that corner there.
This is going to be launched at the convention. The official.
That's what I was going to ask, when it's going to be officially released?
Amazon date will probably be September 12th in accordance with the 60th anniversary. But it'll be a pre-released at the convention. That's when the launch is. And if someone comes up and expects to pay 12 cents, we're going to throw them out of the room.
Yeah.
We don't even know from the publisher yet. Genius Publishing, who put out the Turtles book that Mark and I did, are the people behind this. And the quality work they put out is just so amazing. This was the Turtles book, and it's hardcover and beautifully laid out and all that. So we had full faith in them putting it out, full faith that it was going to be what the three of us had a dream for it to be. Because I think Mark had the original suggestion of us working together back when, and then after we did the Turtles book as well, who else is there? And we both love the Monkees so much, but what wasn't done? And this we came up with, I'm a huge as I'm sitting here, just by coincidence, I got comics. I am a comic.
Yeah.
I love just
I'm a big comic book nerd too.
Comic book guys. And Mark's put out a lot of other comics. But Duane was actually very late in the game. Duane I've respected for so many years and interviewed him when I used to do a Monkees radio show. And if you talk about the people who've really made impact on the Monkee fandom with collectible items and all that and books. Duane, so we've always had this really weird sense of humor that we share. But he came in late on the game, and he really turned this book into something more than we would have ever expected it to be. So, Duane, all kudos to you. Take away all Mark's credit. It all goes to you.
Well, some interesting things about the comics is the date that has on the comic of when it was supposed to be released, it actually released 3 months before that. So the first comics was released in December of 1966, which is kind of interesting. And number 1, they went to 16 issues, and number 17 was a copy of number 1. So even though we count that as, but I mean, it's exact copy. I went through both of them. They're exactly the same, except for the dates on it. Yeah. And the comics, the stories, these would be really dumb, but they're actually really funny. They're sarcastic. They're entertaining. They're educational. They go through outer space. They go underwater. They go surfing. It's really a crazy, fun adventure on these comics.
They could do a lot more in the comics than the TV show,
Yeah, but
but Jose was in Mexico when he was doing this, so I don't know if he got episodes to watch or not. I don't know how that situation.
So how long has this been in the making? And also, because it's someone I would assume owned the rights to the comics. Like, how did it take longer to get permission than to put the book together? I mean,
next question.
Okay. Well, you don't have to tell me.
No. You're asking such a good question, because this book probably would have come out a long time ago if we had the confidence. We had to ask. Mark it was much better at remembering this, but we sent out endless requests for permission, and it was we have nothing to do with it. It's out of print. Reason after reason after reason. I think one said, it would cost more to get a legal team together to review it than it would to even. So we made it beyond just the comics.
Yeah.
So we hope we made it into a new piece of art legally, in that it's so renovated and so restored and so different. Also, it's a price guide. Also, it's a reference book. Also, it's a celebrity book. So the Monkees comic book, it's not just a direct release of putting out the 17 issues as they were, and here you go.
Yeah.
Maybe that's okay too, legally, we don't know. But you asked how long. This has been years in the making, and much of it was hesitation. Much of it was, let's make sure we're treating it with the respect it deserves. Let's make sure, a lot of credibility goes to the fact that we did the last interview with Jose Delbo, the original Monkees artist, on the Monkee comics, and it's a very comprehensive interview. We're really proud of it. But that's one of the focal points of the book, is being able to I don't know exactly how many of the issues he did, but probably 90% of them. And Jose was very prolific. He did a lot of the other, if you know Dell Comics, they were putting out like Land of the Giants and Lost in Space. They were the TV media. They weren't Marvel and DC doing superheroes or horror. They were the ones putting out the media, the pop culture stuff.
To add to that is Dell was flagging. Say that word for me, somebody.
Floundering.
That's it. Okay, floundering. And they were doing really bad. The Monkees comics actually got them back onto profit.
Oh, wow.
If that wouldn't have happened, they probably would have gone down. But the Monkees really brought that up. I mean, because they sold so many and it's so popular. I don't know exactly how they got the rights to do that, but whoever, because like Charles talking, they did all the TV stuff. So, I mean, it was pretty amazing that happened.
Yeah. There's a longer, more involved story on that because, the Dell was originally part of Western Publishing, and then they split off and became Gold Key, and Dell became its own thing. But they basically did the same thing. So, and I don't want to be an expert on that. I just know that they became two companies, but they did do the same thing of TV show to comic book thing because that was their thing. Just to say an aside for one other thing Jose Delbo did, he did the Yellow Submarine comic book as well. So that's another thing he talks a little bit about. And he was like one of the first people we interviewed, I think. And so that would tell you when we started the book, which I believe was about 2023. So it's been a couple of years at least. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
He died last year, right? Yeah.
A year and a half.
Jose died last year.
It's 4 or 5 years in the making, from thought to actuality, to getting 17 different celebrities to contribute to the book. People like Butch Patrick from the Munsters, and one guy, Victor Willis. He was the lead singer of the Village People, and he jumped on board because he related to the Monkees as a band that was like sort of put together, but continued on for generations, and continue to perform concerts and all that. So really proud of just not the three of us for what we put together in this, and the initial artists. And Peter Noon was nice enough to give us you're talking about Peter Noon. He did the forward for the book.
Great.
But everyone who contributed, all the celebrities and all the people who were like real monkey inside fandom people like Jerry Beck and Fred Velez and Ed Riley. We can go on and on, but it's something that not only are we proud of, but I think anyone who picks up a copy of it is going to say, wow, this is an amazing collection, to whether they're a comic book fan, whether they love pop culture. But without a doubt, if they love the Monkees and never had the comics, or never had them in great condition, or had a few and wish they had them all, or even had them all and want to have it in the best possible, re-digitized condition. Very, very, very proud of it. And it's launching once again September 5th at www.monkeesfanconvention.com.
Nice. Yeah, that book's I'm going to get a copy of it because I've never seen a Monkees comic. Like, I've never read a Monkees comic. I mean, I don't know what the originals are worth, but this is a great collection to have them all, not, as they were, but like you said, to restore them like that. And unless you're a Monkees fanatic and you want the original comics, but yeah. And plus it's not just the comics. It's it's the price guide and everything. And that looks like that book's
interviews are really good too.
So you printed a certain number of copies, and you're probably hoping to sell out of the first printing, which,
Right. Exactly right.
Yep.
We hope to actually sell out the first run at the convention.
Okay.
And that's going to be limited, and Mark will sign copies and I'll sign copies. And if we get Duane, to make the trip, he will too. Everyone who's involved, this is going to be really neat. You know how you go to a reunion, a high school reunion, whatever, and at the end of the thing, you get everyone to sign your original yearbook or when you graduate. So what's going to happen is people like Fred Velez, and I've mentioned him a few times, maybe your viewers don't know, was someone who's written a book called A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You, and A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You Too. He'll be there to sign. He can sign the book. Ed Riley, who did the Monkees manufactured image and was such a big contributor to the Monkees business fanzine, he'll be there too. So a lot of the people who contributed to this book will be there. Not only the editors and the compilers and the people who were involved in making the book. I don't know if we can call ourselves authors, but the people who contributed so many are going to be at the convention that it'll be an opportunity to go around and get multiple autographs.
Oh yeah. So thank you guys. The convention sounds great. The book, I hope people get excited and either go to the convention or to Connecticut or want to buy the book. Thank you guys. Thank you, Mark, Charles, Duane. Thank you very much. And any last, we have like a little over a minute.
Yes, of course. So the book will be on sale at Amazon out September 12th at the convention in Connecticut, North Haven, Connecticut, Clarion Inn Hotel. Go to the website, www.monkeesfanconvention.com, or search M60. That's the name of the show, M60.
Okay.
And it should come up.
So thank you guys.
Mark and Duane, next time, give me a chance to say a few words, please.
Yeah.
Well, we're working on it. I got the script here, but you went off the script, Charles.
I think Mark at one point took a nap. We didn't even notice.
Oh, Mark's got a broken leg.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
There you go. I like seeing that.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you,
Leg, what leg? Oh, I don't have a leg anymore. Okay.
Have a great rest of the night.
No good music.
You've been listening to No Good Music, intro and exit music by the band 99%. Today's episode was recorded live and slightly edited for your listening enjoyment at the Did You Say 7 Studios in Washington, New Jersey. You can find No Good Music on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, our host site Podbean, and mostly anywhere you listen to podcasts. Be sure to follow our Facebook and Instagram pages. And as always, thank you for listening.